right, and we're live again to one of my favorite segments of the week, which is my Snappy Chats. My Snappy Chats are all about learning and growing in business together, because the one thing I have found being a business owner in the last 8 years, it gets really lonely. It can be a really lonely ride, especially if you're a one-man band or you're a two-man band. It really does get lonely. And we can learn so much from each other, because guess what? We're all going through the same challenges. By the way, I'm Christine Bell. I just ran straight into that. I'm Christine Bell. I'm a customer strategist. We're not going to be talking about that today. We're going to be talking about how we can learn and grow together in business. And I have the wonderful Tamir, I hope I pronounced that correctly, with me today. I met Tamir on LinkedIn, of all places. I have just been following him. I love what he does. He's all about helping men who are going through separation or divorce and can find that a lonely space, I imagine, in terms of reaching out and having support and working through navigating that situation. So I'm super excited to have him here with me today. The other thing I do share why I like Tamir is that we actually share love for horses, a passion for horses. And horses are amazing in terms of understanding us intuitively as human, and really being great for healing and for building relationships as well, I believe, actually. But we can talk more about that just now. So thank you so much for being with me today, Tamir. I really appreciate you coming on and sharing a little bit more about yourself and what you do.
Thank you, Christine. Great to be here. Thanks for inviting me. Yeah, happy to be here.
Wonderful. I'm so glad. So please tell us a little bit more about what you do and how you help people in your business.
Yeah, so I'm a separation coach for men, so men that are going through separation or divorce. There's no roadmap, really. When I went through separation myself 4 years ago, I felt totally lost. And through my personal self-development journey, through studying counseling, through all of that, I developed a roadmap to help them survive and thrive through it.
I love that. And it's so important in a world where I think, it's more common than not that we go through separations in relationships, and things change in our lives, especially in the last 4 years. It's been, we've had a lot of other stuff going on in the world that makes it even harder. So I guess, especially, it can be hard to figure out how to do it. How do you go through a divorce? How do you move through to the other side? It's huge, both personally and also in terms of all the practical parts. So I love what you do. So I really appreciate you coming on. Today, we're going to be talking more about building businesses as well, and learning and growing from that. So you've been building your own business for the last few years, and I'm assuming you've had some few challenges like we all do.
Yeah, so this is my second year really in this current business. I had some before. And yeah, really the challenge for me was getting clients, and especially as a business that is a little bit innovative. Divorce coaching is something pretty new in Australia, and definitely divorce coaching for men.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're in a new space, and then you're building a new business, finding your way through what that looks like. And on top of that, we have to get clients in, quite quickly, because most of us need to make money, yes?
That's right. And it was a new industry for me as well.
Yeah. So
I need to
wow. So you
learn
came from
the
something
industry.
else and then moved into this.
Correct.
Wow. So what made you think of how to create an offer and how to build something that would be relevant to other men?
Yeah, so I really started with that startup mindset, right? Just make something, make a minimum viable product, an MVP, and just try and test it on just men, some friends, some people that I know. I offered it for free a few times just to get my offer running and to make sure that this is something that really resonates.
Wonderful. And I've actually used the same practice as well. So I think that's a really, really important thing is, we all say we need to make money, but sometimes it's valuable, especially when we're still building our product and service, to test it on people that we know that are, do represent our target market and can really give us feedback and help us refine it and work out how it's going to work. So when we do go to market, we're actually we know we've got a product and service that's going to work, and then we can start bringing people in, yeah?
Correct.
And I just want to say thank you to Etel, I hope I pronounced that, Etel, who's here listening in. And she's saying men do struggle a lot with divorce. I'm glad Mr. Berkman is a divorce coach. About 60% of couples do not stay married. It's a very good niche. So this is really interesting in terms of the challenge. How do we get clients? Because there's definitely a need for what you do. there is, the stats tells us this, just generally what's going on there. And we know how hard going through something that is deeply personal and emotional and important to us when that breaks apart. So we know there's a market, but there's still a challenge getting clients. So what do you reckon are some of the challenges that are going on in terms of getting clients in?
Yeah, so I think you hit the big one, right? There's definitely a need for it,
Yeah.
but is there a want? So I really needed to make sure my offer taps in on the want and how to make an offer that will make men actually want to do it.
Yeah.
And that took me about 2 years to reach it, and I'm still working on it, right? It's still not 100% perfect. I'm still learning how to do it. And really what I found out that it's about trial and success. Trialing different things. As a young business, I'll probably try less. I'll probably try a few. Maybe in 2 years, Mark, I'll probably have the capacity to trial more.
Yeah.
But it's always going around in like a circle and trialing these things and trialing in different ways.
Yeah. And also because you offer a very, I guess, personalized service in terms of no one is exactly the same. Each person that you work with might have a different background, different culture, different experience, different situation, and different way that they take on board learnings, and different places where they feel, I guess, more vulnerable than in other places of the whole situation. All the things that comes into divorce. There's not just the emotional part, there's the practical part, there's the financial part too. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm really focusing on the emotional part, but you're right. There are a lot of things that are different and very individual, and there's a lot of things that are the same because we're all human, and men are men most of the time. So the challenge is to create an offer that can fit pretty much any man, but will be, I guess, modular enough so I can actually switch and change and provide a personalized service and roadmap.
That sounds like a very, very smart way of doing it. And I must admit, I'm also doing the same in my business. So it is not unusual that it takes a year or two. I put out my offer for small businesses a year ago. And whilst the beginning part was bigger changes, bigger refinements, I'm still refining now too. And it sounds like it's the same that you're doing, because everyone learns differently. Everyone takes on board insights and information and teachings in different ways. And we kind of have to customize to that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So it's not linear. It's not, oh, this is the way it's done. There's always a bit of a leeway and a flow to it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So when it comes back to the challenge of bringing clients in, what are some of the big learnings you've had in terms of how you do it? Because you're still in business. So that's the good news. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, that's right. So it's nice to acknowledge, and also nice to look back and go, okay, so when I was in the first year of business, I was doing, my circle of activities or marketing was really small. And that maybe was, contacting family and friends, offering things for free, making a few posts here and there on social media, maybe having a website, for example, and just learning how to do stuff. So learning how a funnel works, working out how social media works, stuff like that.
A lot of upskilling.
A lot of upskilling, right? A lot of like, really, a lot of hours without an output, really. It's just the learning and upskilling.
Yeah.
And the second year, the circle gets a little bit bigger. So I tried paid advertising, for example, for a while. I tried more mentors. I tried different social media tools and techniques. I was more consistent. I improved all my skills on social media, things like that.
Okay. So those are the very practical things you can do. But you did mention before a really important point in terms of there's a need for it, but is there a want for it? So how do we drive more want in terms of men opening up to the idea that, one, being aware that the service is available, but also going, you know what, this could be something for me? And what's stopping them from wanting it, do you reckon?
Yeah, wow. This is the $1 million question, right? I guess it's constantly changing and tweaking the offer until I get it right, until it's a bullseye. And I'm not sure I'm even there now, but I'm just constantly changing and tweaking it to suit. Men don't know the benefits of this. So I think a lot of it is educational. I need to show up every day and putting a lot of stuff there just to educate people that, first of all, this is available, but second of all, what are the benefits? Why should I do it?
Yeah.
And I think the other part is the branding.
Yeah. Very, very important. And I think branding is very important because it is a service offer you have, and you are very much the person showing up, working with the individual, in which case people are buying into you. So it comes down to know that it exists, that they like you and they trust you. Yeah. In terms of building that rapport, and then also going, I guess, admitting to ourselves that we might need help. Sometimes we try to be strong, we try to just get through it, and we've got so much going on that, sitting down and taking time for working out our own emotions and working through how we can heal ourselves, that's a whole nother level of extras in terms of just getting through life. Yeah. Especially when we're going through a very difficult situation.
Absolutely. And men were taught that, asking for help and being vulnerable is a negative thing. So with my business, I need to overcome that.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's another thing we were talking about just before we went on air, which is what I've noticed, because I love your posts and I love what you do. And I've noticed that you give great information, great value on LinkedIn, but you don't always get as many likes. And my hypothesis is this is typically one of those areas where I go, yeah, that's me, but am I going to let anyone know that? Yeah. By liking your stuff or promoting it, because it hits home too much and we don't want anyone to see it potentially on a social media platform.
That's right. There's a lot of deep emotions there, especially in the situation of divorce and separation. I might don't want people to know about it. I might be still in denial about it. And yeah, there's definitely also the stigma around it.
Yeah. So what would you say in terms of what you have learned so far in terms of bringing clients in? Because I know it's still a challenge, and it is for me as well. It's learning and growing together. But what are some of the ways you have found that helps you bring clients in?
So I think it's really about learning and growing myself and growing my skills, because the tools are just the tools.
Yeah.
Right. It's about how well I'm using the tools, right? A brochure can be as successful as Google or as successful as TikTok, right? But do I actually put in the time to be good at it? Be good at TikTok, be good at with the brochure or in Google. So I need to actually grow myself in order for the tools to be successful.
Yeah, that makes total sense. And I think you mentioned another thing before we went on air as well, which is referrals. So there are lawyers out there are mediators out there who do meet your target audience. Yeah. And so referrals are really important as well. And I think a lot of us underestimate in all types of businesses how important referrals are, especially when we're starting out and we're still building our awareness and building our brand. Yeah.
Referrals are huge. It's something that I can do. It's something that I can grow. It's just growing exponentially, and also make sure that I'm earning that credibility, right? If it's a referral, there's a trust coming with that. There's credibility coming with that, with a referral, that I think makes it, more valuable than just a lead on social media or in any other way.
Yeah. So I guess from my perspective, listening to you and talking about your business, and I could be wrong, but for me, it sounds like a good opportunity for anyone in a similar business like you or in different business where this is applicable as well, is this idea of building relationships for your sake in terms of mediators, lawyers, relationship coaches, before, when there's still, there's this point where couples are still trying to work it out, going to therapy. And at some point they sometimes have to split, and that might be where they can't have the same therapist anymore, or they may want someone else. So maybe that's also an opportunity. So I'm just thinking out loud for everyone in businesses, who are the people that that knows your target market that can help you as well? Would you agree with this?
Absolutely. It's always great to do more networking and to have that effect.
Yeah.
I think it's also one of the things that doesn't cost money, right? Usually it's pretty easy to do on LinkedIn or actually on even face-to-face.
Yeah, and then just getting your name out there and getting known. Yeah, so people actually go, you know what? I have someone who could really help, use your help, and then go, okay, who can I refer to? And then think of you. Yeah, because they've seen you, they've recognized you, they like what you're about. They go, you know what? I think my mate can use Tamir as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So with this in mind, we're finishing up at 15 minutes now. So thank you so much for your time. But I will recommend anyone who is here today, and there are a few people listening in, and we actually got quite a few people. So thank you, Abu and Shafiq. I hope I pronounced all these names correctly. I apologize for my Danish accent. But for anyone out there who knows someone who can use your help, I highly recommend you get in touch with Tamir, because there are definitely a need for it. I think Ethel said it's like 60%, are ending up in divorce. So there's definitely a huge need, and there's 2 people in each relationship normally. So there's definitely a huge need here. So I highly recommend anyone reaching out to you. But before we finish, how can people reach out to you? And do you got anything coming up that you want to share?
Yeah, so divorcecowboy.com.au is the website, and I also got a podcast that is I hear is really valuable. It's Divorce Cowboy on all platforms. So check it out.
I love that. So that way people can just start listening in, getting some tips from you, some value, and get to know you. And that's what it's all about. It's about know, like, and trust, and building those emotional relationships as well. Obviously, we need to have the proof points and be able to deliver too. But I know that you can. I appreciate you so much for coming on and taking the time and sharing your challenge and sharing about yourself on my Snappy Chat. So thank you.
Thanks, Christine. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. I'm just going to end the stream here and wave goodbye as it takes